proceed for the another talk by Dr. Joshi on core decompression. Dr. Naren Joshi, sir.
Is it visible? Is it visible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Proceed, sir.
So core decompression, the good and the bad. Avascular necrosis definition I've already described, etiology already described, so need not to go in detail. Now our aim is to preservation versus replacement. Still a topic of debate. It is no more a topic of a debate, especially in young patients. Preserve today to replace tomorrow. There are advances to improve outcome of your preservations are made. So, but the introduction of biomodulators have changed the total scenario. Most commonly followed management plan is AV in an early stage, that is Fickett type 1 and 2A, or other prognostic classification, preservation by core decompression. AVN in advanced stage, arthroplasty is required. So core decompression works on the principle that venous stasis causing the increased intraosseous pressure is caused of the AVN. Trephination done to release the intraosseous pressure, thereby improving the outcome by ingrowth of the vascular channels in the tract. So there are many techniques are there. Some commonly used techniques are trephination using 8 to 10 millimeters trephines, single drilling hole by reamers of 8 to 10 millimeter size, multiple drill hole by 3.2 mm drill bits or with the help of Steinman pin. But core decompression studies have shown that core decompression alone is not giving very good results. So some augmentation is needed. To further improve the outcome of the basic technique of the core decompression is augmented by using corticocancellous bone graft from iliac crest or cortical stud graft using fibula or vascularized fibula, which is quite demanding procedures. But the introduction of biomodulators, or you can say orthobiologics adjuvants like bone mineral, bone marrow aspiration concentrate, bone morphogenic proteins and PRP, and porous tantalum rods. So when to do core decompression? The ideal patient is one who has a triad of hip pain, pre-collapse stage of radiology, and no response of medical treatment. But most of the time, they actually report us when these stages are already crossed. It has been seen in studies that efficacy is 97% of core decompression when done in Fickett class 1, grade 1. And it drops to 77% when it is done at the stage 2, grade 2. To improve outcome in Fickett, augmentation is necessary. So the technique, you all know that this is due to this is done at the lateral approach under IITV control. It is localized with the help of guide wire and over which the core decompression was done. And the track can be packed with the bone graft or biologics. So there are various combinations are there in biomodulators. It works on the principle that AVN is there is a depletion of mesenchymal stem cells which are progressively replaced by adipose tissue and apoptic tissue. The biologics become a source of these mesenchymal cells along with the osteoinductive factors promoting their differentiation into osteoblast. Bone grafts versus biologics, the good, the bad. Bone graft conventionally proven source of osteoinductive and osteoconductive materials with added structural support. Replaces damaged osteocyte with osteoblast. But there is a disadvantage that the donor side morbidity and limited regeneration. On the contrary, biologics are largely osteoinductive with a limited osteoconductive property and does not provide structural support. Acts as an adjuvant to damaged part, but no donor side morbidity is there and infinite regeneration potential is there. So few studies have done on core decompression in PRP. PRP is a concentrated plasma containing increased volume of platelets. These platelets serve as a source of several growth factors like transforming growth factor beta, platelet-derived growth factor, which after administration get released and facilitate growth and tissue building. PRP also serve as a source of mesenchymal stem cells, which differentiate into osteoblast. The studies on core decompression PRP, the one study was Zian et al. In randomized controlled trial treated 24 patients in pre-collapse stage of AV and hip with PRP as an adjuvant to core decompression. They compared them with the 22 patients with core decompression. Only 3 patients in PRP group needed hip replacement, while 7 patients in other group required the same due to arthritis. Overall, it was clear from the authors that finding that the PRP is an effective adjuvant to core decompression and bone grafting for pre-collapse stage of the AVN. Another alternative technique of core decompression plus PRP and plus bone grafting. Semi et al. Utilized different method to decompress the femoral head in 40 hips of 30 patients. They dislocated it anteriorly, removed the necrotic area, and drilled the multiple holes there. Subsequently, they added bone graft mixed with the PRP and covered the spot with the fibrin glue and collagen to keep the adjuvant in place. They concluded that PRP enhances the reparative capacity after drilling the necrotic area in pre-collapse stage of AVN before flattening the head. Another combination of this core decompression and bone marrow aspiration concentrate, which contains mononuclear stem cells that are building blocks of the structural architecture of the hip. They differentiate into bone forming cells and replace the aged defective cells, thus maintaining the balance and structural integrity. Multiple studies have assessed the role of this as an adjuvant to core decompression and have shown promising results. So one of the studies on this subject is by Wang, who treated 20 hips in 15 patients with core decompression, curettage, bone grafting, and bone marrow aspiration concentrate combination. 80% of the hip survival rates were achieved by this, and only 4 hips exhibited worsening of the stage, but did not require total hip replacement at their final follow-up. Tomaru from Japan evaluated 31 patients of AVN treated by core decompression and bone marrow aspiration separate with a mean follow-up up to 5.8 years. The patient showed improvement with an increased Japanese Orthopedic Association score and decreased pain score. Another study which supports the good results are core decompression, bone marrow aspiration concentrate, and PRP, with variable results because the BM it has been shown that only bone marrow aspiration concentrate has not given good results in all the studies looked into so far. So the focus may be now shifting to enhancing the number of bone forming cells. Beside the ex vivo culturing the cells, the addition of growth factors that could improve the number of mesenchymal cells may be a practical solution. The latter can be done by mixing bone marrow aspiration concentrate with the PRP, which contains essential growth factors. PRP was used as a media which potentially contains all the factors of the growth of the mesenchymal cells, thus increasing the amount of bone marrow mesenchymal stem cells in vivo after installation. Another study with core decompression and bone morphogenic proteins has been done. As bone morphogenic protein act on mesenchymal cells, stem cells, and aid in proliferation of and differentiation to bone forming cells in turn, leading to bone remodeling. Papan-Ghiatu et al. Used recombinant BMP7 with core decompression in non-vascularized tubular graft in 7 hips of 6 patients. They inferred that treatment combination came out to be effective in stopping the progression of the disease and provide significant clinical improvement. Another study, the work has been done on core decompression plus porous tantalum rods. As you know, the porous tantalum rods are biomaterials used to support the subchondral bone, providing both physical and mechanical strength, analog to cortical stud graft. The modulus of elasticity of these rods is in between that of subchondral bone and cortical bone. High volume porosity similar to that of bone marrow. Bone allows rapid bone in growth, giving stability along with primary stability by implant per se. So what is in line now? Adjuvants have been used now because it has been discussed that bisphosphonate has very promising results. So the local installation of bisphosphonate act as against osteoblast mediated bone loss may be introducing the osteoclast apoptosis. Theoretically, the role of osteonecrosis is to hold the bone death may be crucial. However, the intraosseous route is yet to be explored in humans, but as shown by Dr. Amita, that one Indian studies have been done in which the local bisphosphonate has been done, which it shows the promising results. So in future, many more things to come in future. So to summarize, the prevalence of avian of is a relatively younger population warrants early intervention that could salvage the affected hip and delay the arthroplasty as long as possible. Cold decompression along with available adjuvants like bone marrow aspiration concentrate, PRP, and their various combination work more potently than cold decompression alone. In achieving this therapeutic goal, however, the associated costs mandate assessment of alternative adjuvants and apt patient selection to determine the best mode of administration of these orthobiologics to improve the overall outcomes. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Joshi, sir. Please stop sharing your screen. So any questions from panelists, faculty members? Yes, Dr. Jayant.
Joshi sir, at
Yeah.
one time fibular graft was very popular as a strut.
Very right. It is still there. Some studies have been done in which fibular graft has been applied, put in, but it is better to use fibular graft along with this PRP or bone marrow aspiration concentrate. These two things are very commonly used. Other modalities are costly and they are not readily available. But you are right that cold decompression, along with cold decompression, fibular stud graft is still used as a stud graft, as well as it gives vascular channels to come in. But the vascularized fibular graft is a demanding procedure. So it is not being done very regularly. But you are right, fibular stud graft is still there. But it is no more used because of advent of cold decompression along with this various stem cell combinations.
As far as the technique of core decompression is concerned, I think multiple small drill holes has established itself as the technique now, and no more drilling with thicker drill bits, or even some people were using the DHS triple reamer at one time. So I think all that is out now, and it is more focused and the thinner cannulated drills.
Yeah. I have mentioned that the multiple drill holes are always better than single hole because it decreases the strength of the itself, the total neck as well as head also.
Yes, sir. Yes. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir.
Dr. Rahul, can I comment on the fibular graft?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please.
Yeah. So one important part of treating avian is that the eventual treatment of a lot of avian patients, in case this treatment doesn't work, is going to be a total hip replacement. And I have operated on failed fibular graft patients, and I can tell you I must have operated on 4 or 5 patients where the fibula graft did not work. Now what happens is that the head gets resorbed, the fibula starts poking into the acetabulum, and that is one of the complications. Even if the head collapses and the fibula is situated inside the femur, the proximal for us to remove the fibula from the neck and to be able to implant a primary prosthesis is impossible. So the process of removal of the fibula, a well integrated fibula, completely destroys the soft cancellous bone of the proximal femur, and that makes it mandatory to use a revision prosthesis or a prosthesis with a diaphyseal hold. So you are pushing the patients towards the advanced surgery. So that's the reason why I feel that fibula graft I don't think is should not be done actually. That's what I feel. It's a personal thing. Thank you, sir.
Absolutely correct, Dr. Goresh, because with the innovation of the more newer, better adjuvants, now the use of fibula graft is day by day decreasing. And as you rightly said, there are few issues with the fibula graft. Yeah, Dr. Arun Vaishya, sir, you want to comment? Sir, please unmute yourself first.
Sorry. So I would like to add here, sir, ki by doing a core decompression, along with it, can we go for a cancellous bone graft? That would be better than doing a cortical bone graft instead of a fibula. If we use a cancellous bone graft along with it, that would add to the vascularity of the necrosis.
Sir, once the multiple smaller drill holes, like 3.2 mm drill holes, so how to use a graft with those holes? That is also.
So instead of using a multiple drill holes, if you do a bigger drill hole and doing a graft into it and packing it with this thing, PRP or stem cell.
A big drill hole will create a stress riser. And
no, you're
that's
doing
the
a graft
problem.
there.
So
no?
now we are switching on to small diameter drilling, and small diameter drilling give you access to the necrotic area also, which is situated anterior and anterolaterally.
So I think we should have a consensus over the multiple small drill hole or a 8 to mm bigger drill hole for the core decompression. Because for the adjuvant therapy, we'll discuss later on after completion of the docs. So who is in favor of multiple drill holes and who is in favor of the larger holes?
Rahul, the
Multiple drill
consensus
holes.
world over is in favor of multiple drill holes. A single drill hole is condemned these days.
Sir, we are asking the experience of.
I'm telling you about my own personal experience, which is gained from my own cases as well as from the literature.
Anyone else in
Multiple
favor
drill
of,
holes.
in favor of
It depends what exactly we are going to do. If we are going to put the fibula, it's not practical possible to do multiple drill hole and then put the fibula. We have to ream it at least 8 mm. Similarly, if you want to put the cancellous bone graft, again we have to ream 8 mm. The advantage with the bigger ream is that we can remove the necrotic area. We can go, we take the curved curate, remove the dead bone, then pack the whatever you want to adjuvant you can put in. That is the advantage.
So okay, I'll change my question. So if you go for the core decompression surgery in number of cases, in how many cases you go for the bone graft and the removal of the necrotic tissues?
In all the cases, I would it's my personal choice that all the cases I will go remove the necrotic tissue and then put the adjuvant. I'm not talking about the graft. I preferably choose the adjuvant. It may be bone aspirate or maybe cultured osteoblast, that depends.
But is it necessary to remove all the necrotic area by putting a larger drill hole? Any of the faculty member? Because with the multiple smaller holes, it is not completely, you cannot completely remove the necrotic tissue. Dr. Goresh, what is your experience?
What about trapdoor technique?
Dr. Bhatti.
What about trapdoor technique?
That's the next topic.
So we'll discuss about that in next, but I'm right now asking, is it necessary to remove the necrotic tissue every time in each case?
No, Rahul, no.
Dr. Goresh?
Your
Are you
idea
there?
is to reach the necrotic area, make it enough permeable for the bone marrow or whatever adjuvant you are putting in to reach there. You don't have to remove the necrotic material, because in grade 1 and in grade 2A, there is never enough necrotic material to be removed.
Right, sir. Anybody else want to comment on this?
Yeah,
I want
actually, I would like to wait for my talk, and then I would, because my my technique is completely contrary to most of the people here,
Okay.
and I would wait for my talk.
Okay. Dr. Soni, you want to say something?
Yes, I just wanted, because if you see multiple drilling option nowadays is not the only option left for treatment of osteonecrosis. There are adjuvant therapies which are now being used very commonly. So multiple drill hole can already be done if you are not doing extra. But if you are planning to do PRP or bone marrow aspirate or bone grafts, then you have to make a 8 to 10 mm refined hole. That is the way we can get better outcome. Studies are showing that multiple drilling only has got not better result in comparison to the single on the refined hole with adjuvants. So that is my notion.
Okay. Thank you.